alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
I'm like not used to like. I'm like, where's the intro song?
You forget about it after a while. And I'm slowly
Frowns McBooHoo, shut the fuck up!
I'm slowly thinking of ways to like tweak that a little bit. But yeah, no, that's usually how most episodes started. And
Just out of like pure
at least
conversation.
a while ago. At least a while ago. Yeah, no, that's exactly how it starts.
It's all organic.
Yep.
Hey guys, I'm back. I know I'm the one you guys want to hear and see. It's me. You can turn this off.
This
now.
is gonna be episode 122.
Good number.
Buckle my shoe.
God. Why?
Because I fucking said so.
The 1700s? You have buckles on your shoes?
I know, we're drinking mead right now, so
We
it
are
might,
drinking
it
mead
might
right
be the
now, so maybe.
1700s.
Oh my god, am I on the Mayflower? Christopher Columbus, like what?
So,
God, I wish you were my history teacher.
I don't know how to take that, because I don't wish... I also don't think he should be teaching any young people anything.
I like to teach the young children.
So this is Lotsa Pasta, and I'm here with Frowns McBooHoo.
The House of Frowns McBooHoo, yeah.
Frowns McBooHoo, yeah.
Oh, you did not think I would be German today, yeah?
And we've been drinking some mead. I cracked open some mead that I was saving for him. I got it a couple weeks ago, and I said, you know who the last... I said, hey, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know who the last person I had some mead with was?
Tell me.
I said it was Frowns
McSpoonpoon?
McSpoonpoon.
I thought you were going to say, you know who the last person I would want to drink this with is? Frowns
It's really good. I don't know what it tastes like. It tastes like alcohol.
It tastes like heaven in a cup.
I've had a lot of whiskey tonight. I've had a hefty amount of wine. This is the fourth alcohol I've had tonight.
What was the one that you had before?
And I'm chiefing.
You had, what was that, Coke and rum or something?
That's a good story. Let's start there.
What we had dinner?
At dinner, I got something called a wiggle.
Oh, I forgot about the wiggle.
The wiggle is a homemade, home-distilled brewed whiskey from southern PA. And they've been doing it since the 70s.
Nice.
And they treat it the same way they treat beer. So they treat it with certain hops and flavors. And there was like a 30-some list you could choose from. And I chose the apple wheat. And it was quite good.
So was that the first drink you had?
That was the first drink I had
Okay.
today. This is like the 6th.
I'm on my 6th as well. I had some red wine.
So did I.
I had me a Fuji apple martini.
That sounds delicious.
And I had me a lavender honey martini.
I like a little bit of Mexican in me, so I had some,
Pedro.
tequila. His name was Pedro.
I was going to say, from someone who's had Mexican in him, it's a good time.
Yes.
It's like, makes him feel like a piñata.
Bursting at the seams.
Just full of candy.
Woo! I was going to say, I couldn't think of any
So
Dora the Explorer
smashing.
references.
We're also here with a new guest on the show who, we both know. We're not going to disclose how. Frowns and I both know this person. I've known her longer. And that's
Let's see.
how that ends.
2 years, 15 years.
Yay.
But I've known her long enough to know she's a mighty good woman.
Yeah, that's her name, Mighty Good Woman. No, it's not. Her name on the show is Alley Cat.
Meow.
Because she's a cat mom.
She's the goddamn pussy.
Yeah.
I am the pussy.
So,
Pussy galore is not. I am.
she had listened to more episodes than Frowns has in his entire tenure. Being on the show for probably 2 years.
And that's how I earned my spot on this show.
And Alley Cat has listened to at least 5 episodes.
This is pretty accurate.
Which is 5 more episodes than Frowns McBooHoo has listened to.
Someone's gonna catch up.
You know what? I just
Mr.
you
Boohoo.
know what? I listened to that.
I do believe this is his 17th episode, though.
And you know what? I haven't even listened to all the ones I'm in. So, like, cut me some slack. If I'm not listening to my own,
that's
why
true.
am I listening to yours?
The one that I know you've listened to multiple times is episode 8. Oh. I can't.
And he doesn't even know.
Is that the
Yes.
My social?
Yes, it is.
Social security.
So let's just acknowledge, people, if you've made it to episode 122,
Go back to 8.
perhaps it is time
Yeah.
to go back and listen to episode 8.
I like to say that my favorite Frowns McBooHoo is Miss Mary.
Yeah, that's the 90s.
And then after that, it was like wee wee.
Yeah,
And that just sold me. Yes.
He was doing Ling from Kung Pao.
Yes.
Take me, Manny.
So anyway, I'm here with Alley Cat and Frowns McBooHoo.
Cummy snatch.
And we're gonna read, this is gonna be like a standard intro episode for anyone. We're gonna read a mixed bag.
We're gonna read the Bible.
We're gonna read the Bible. We're gonna
That's scary enough.
That's the real fear.
Mm-hmm.
That's the deep fear. That's the fear.
The instill of God.
I want to see the
is
receipts
fear.
for that fear.
What?
What?
We haven't given. No one has bought
Nothing
it yet.
works with that yet. Like nothing. You've suggested
Keep
so
that
many.
in your pants.
Policia!
Keep that in your pants.
Somebody call IXII.
So, man, that was fucking loud. His bars are off. All right, we're gonna move the microphone
We're gonna move it away from Frowns
bit
McBooHoo.
further from him.
A little bit closer.
Sorry, guys, I got a deep, canaverous bunghole. Trap.
Moving on. So, the first story. Oh no, we didn't even talk about you yet.
Talk about me.
Fuck off! I'm talking about the new.
Trying to get rid of me.
I'm talking about the new person.
Always has to be about you.
Alley Cat Strike.
I love that movie.
7-10 split, baby. Looks very similar to this.
It's accurate.
I'm tossing up Surfer Shaka, bruh.
No, it's the shocker. He's tossing the shocker. Yeah,
so,
that's what he's doing.
What? What?
How do we even start this?
Your I like your name. I like your name for several reasons, and the main one is because you are a pussy. You won't watch. Do you not like scary movies?
No, it's like it is. I'm growing an affinity for them. It just all depends on what type.
What would you say your favorite scary movie is?
I knew this was coming up, but
You
I
had
should
to
have
have.
prepared. I should have prepared. It depends because I enjoy the artistic value of a good 80s horror film, like the Poltergeist. Like it's something where if you are 5 years old,
That's a solid answer.
and if you are 5 years old and you watch it, it scares the shit out of you. But then you watch it when you're like 25 and you're like, there was some good shit in this movie that is worth appreciating on a artistic movie level.
Yeah.
However, I am so into it, the new, not the Tim Curry, the new one, and super excited for the second one to come out that I will actually watch it in theaters, which I have not seen a horror movie in theaters for years.
You didn't even see the new Halloween?
No, I did
Really?
not. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I think it's the loudness. It's like the sensory vibe that really
that's absolutely
it
a thing.
takes a hold
Specifically
of
in
you.
Halloween. Halloween
a
has
hold of
this
you.
has this stinging and almost like anxiety driven thing where it's all about misdirection, so you always look in the direction and then it plays the loud noise and then it always comes after.
But the thing is also, I highly enjoyed A Haunting at Hill House. And I did not think I was going to enjoy that.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie, I kind of knew some of the spoilers that were coming up, so I wasn't but at the same time, there were times where I was like, oh, fuck. And just was like, no, I cannot believe that just happened.
The more I talk about that show, the more I say that it was probably my favorite thing that I watched in all of 2018.
It's very memorable, and very interesting, and highly recommended even if you are a scaredy cat like me.
I think it's only come out 2 or 3 months ago, but I've probably watched it 3 or 4 times.
What's your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie? Oh man, I've talked about it on so many episodes. It is absolutely John Carpenter's The Thing.
I knew
which I actually think is 1986. I always get the year wrong. I always think it's early, but it's actually later. It's the same year E.T. came out.
Nice.
I also enjoy the Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Original.
Yes, Donald Sutherland. Yes, Donald Sutherland. Partial nudity, a little bit in there.
Right?
Oh my god, that was something we watched in high school. That was something I was like, hey guys, have you watched this? I went through a retro period. I had people watching The Blob.
Okay,
Friday
really
the
going
13th.
back, yeah.
I watched all of the original Friday the 13th with a couple people. But yeah, I at one point got all the way back to Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and that's a solid fucking movie.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. And that was something that I didn't really see when I was younger. I didn't even know how I discovered it, but I watched it and I was like, this is good enough that I would like to buy it.
Yeah, that's the type of movie that can play on cable and not be
edited out profusely. Yeah. I'm sure that's probably how I saw it one time. But the ending was definitely one of the best.
Something AMC would have played on
probably
30 Days of Horror.
But yeah, that was one of the endings where I was literally and you can either, I don't want to spoil anything, that could either be a good or a bad
in my experience.
Or that, yeah.
We used to make that noise really fucking well in high school. It was fucking haunting. What's your favorite horror movie, Frowns?
Tell me.
My favorite horror movie?
Yes.
I would have to say is Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ.
And this is why I never ask you anything.
No, my favorite horror movie is...
Oh God, it shouldn't take this fucking long.
Even you're saying that?
Even I'm he's really thinking hard.
My favorite horror movie...
Yeah, man.
Is the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No, it's not. You literally could have said anything else.
Do you know why that is my favorite horror movie?
You've told the story already.
Yes, I've even heard
Do you remember Miss Alley Cat? Why is that my favorite horror movie?
You could have said The Shining, and I at least would have...
Didn't someone try to...
Someone did.
Someone did fuck me.
So that's why you like it?
It was the best.
You could have said anything else.
It was the best white man sex I have.
That's right, and that is usually not your
No,
cup of
my
tea.
good sir.
As a new character on this podcast, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Does that usually happen?
Turn the tables.
Okay, turning.
I guess the shoes on the other hand now.
So, unrelated to horror and fear, I guess this is more of a background of a psychological thing. What is your greatest fear? And I'm not going to say disappointing my parents, something that's or is that too deep? Is this too deep? I don't want to be too deep.
That's not too deep.
I know likes it really deep, but I don't want to go too deep.
Or super uber deep, yes.
Let's.
Well, I actually.
I don't know if you need an example or.
I think I genuinely fear loneliness, and I think that's absolutely a lie. I absolutely love being alone.
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Tell the truth, Jess. You afraid of your mutter.
I am afraid of my mother, but that's for several other reasons. So
really,
at one point I would have said heights, but I've actually jumped out of a plane.
You have.
and fallen out of the sky.
So isn't that supposed to...
And that was crazy fun. So I think part of me completely removed myself from my body and just enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. You know, there's something so magical about it.
Yeah. Good to know. Good to know.
But then, you know, let's turn it over to, you know, life fears. I've always had a thing for clowns. I think, you know, my aunt's house had a lot of sad clown paintings and, you know, sad clown little statues and shit. And whenever I would have to stay over at her house as a child, I would find myself staying in the bunk bed in that room. No, I would never voice it. I wasn't a bitch. I was just a very unhappy little kid. And, you know, when my aunt would ask me, no, put it down. Put it away. You know the rules. Drinking only, no eating on the show.
Oh.
Come on. At one point, I, you know, just kind of bucked up and did it, but I learned years later that my father had the same irrational fear as a child. At one point, staying over at... Now, this is my great aunt, which makes it my dad's aunt. Like, actual aunt.
Yes.
So, at one point, when he was staying over at her house as a kid, he took down one of the clown paintings that bothered him and left it on the bed. And, you know, he was just like, I can't fucking look at that. And he forgot that he left it on his bed, that when he was playing with his brothers, running around doing stupid shit, he jumped clean onto the bed and broke through the glass and had to go get fucking stitches because of his irrational fear of clowns. And I just find that story very illuminating. A genetic fear, if you will.
A genetic fear, I like it.
Do you want to know my greatest fear? Yeah.
Oh, I thought you would never tell me. Yeah. I'm so excited to hear this.
My greatest fear is the Catholic priest.
Alley Cat.
But I will tell you why.
Oh.
Not for the reasons
he
you
wasn't
may
done
think.
yet. Okay.
I'm afraid of them, for they may not pick me to be their altar boy.
Yeah, that's...
Because the altar boys, they have the most fun, don't they?
And what if I'm not picked to be the start of the lineup?
It's okay, honey.
Can I tell you how many cracker wafers I can hold in my mouth? 69! Father McConaughey, 69, yeah. Actually, I'm really afraid of hot air balloons.
Are you... For real?
Like the balloon part or the heights and the balloons together? There's just so many factors. Like, there's fire in a hot air balloon. Like, it could really just go all different types of ways.
I think in general, it's going up and the possibility of not being able to come back down. So just a fear of, like, going up and not coming back down.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, altar boy.
Alec,
Mine is actually seeing a dead body where it's not supposed to be. Meaning, like, if I'm taking a walk somewhere in the middle of the woods, I'm looking for a dead body. I'm going to be that one person in all those shows that you see where it starts out. She was on the trail, walking her dog, and then she saw something that didn't look right. An old sweater, a missing mitten. And she looked closer. Her dog was acting weird. And there it was. A dead body.
I want to get
But that's, like, for real. Like, I personally... I've seen, obviously, like, on TV and all that stuff, but it's, like a dead body where I was not expecting it.
Let's go back to the mitten. Was it a good mitten?
Or a bad
Or was it a bad mitten?
I need to be slapped around. It was that bad.
I'm gonna fuck that bird.
It's a little bad. So, that's pretty funny because I've actually seen, like, 3 dead bodies.
I think you've told me that story.
Not where they were supposed to be?
Yeah. Like live, like it just happened.
Okay.
What wasn't, like, in some of the park?
I don't know about this.
Like, I feel like I know, but I don't know.
When I was in high school, I witnessed a car accident, and it was absolutely on purpose. Dude was trying to off himself, had to have. And when like me and like 13 other people got close enough to the car, you could just see that this dude was fucking gone. His head was all sorts of fucked up.
No bueno. My sister's seen a dead body. She saw someone who was on a motorcycle. He was like first timer or like, oh, with his friend, let me play around. He literally just ran straight into a road. I shouldn't say ran. He rode the motorcycle straight into a wall, bashed his head in. You know, tried, her and her friends, like, tried their best to save him, but he was just, like, smashed to pieces. Not fun. I'm waiting for the day for me to find the dead body of my fears.
It'll be a Saturday night.
The dead body of your dreams.
You'll be out on town for a night of your life.
Working like, those streets
like
and then
flash dance. You'll get on a chair of water. You'll get on a chair, try to pull down the water. Dead body.
Dead body. Blood. Bucket of blood.
So the second one was when I was working at, and we were letting out the last showing of the night, and there's always like 3 or 4 of us on staff, and this old man is coming out of, I don't even remember the movie, which is the saddest part, and he's walking through the lobby and he just fucking collapses and doesn't get back up, and his wife was hysterical, but when they came and got him, he was not alive.
The movie was how Stella got her groove back too.
I was going to say Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah.
It was just that.
I wanted to die after that too.
That bad.
Electric Boogaloo. It also.
I like this conversation.
It also could have been. What was the movie?
I think that's the ultimate mystery. What made that guy die? What did he see? Was it The Ring?
It was The Mummy featuring Jack Nicholson.
What?
Hi, I'm the Mummy, and I'm Jack Nicholson. Here's Mummy.
I think so. The third time, that guy might not have been dead the last I saw him, but with the amount of blood I saw, this dude was absolutely fucking dead.
Was it in the liquor store?
Yeah,
that one. Okay.
The liquor store story.
Oh,
that's episode 66. I was very optimistic. If anyone goes back and listens to episode 66, I was very optimistic. But the more I think about it, that dude did not look good when he got helped out of the store.
Yeah,
he had to have died. No one ever talked about it because now the liquor store changed locations, so everyone. forgets.
Is that why?
Everyone forgets, but Daddy always gets a taste.
Daddy always gets a taste. I would
So-
write that blood off the floor.
So yeah, I don't think so. It happened in October, and the store didn't change locations till, I would say, like this February. So like 6 months later. 4 months.
So his death, he didn't like.
When did the liquor store change locations? Okay, it wasn't July.
Well, I don't know which one you're talking about.
The one.
Okay, that one literally just changed like 2 months ago.
I thought it was the summer.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't go to the liquor store enough.
That's why I did not trust your logic.
Yes, I know.
I do think it was
Don't
in the
drink
summer
enough
at one
of the
point.
booze,
I think I was
the alcohol.
I want to see the
more.
receipts.
I was supposed to go to the store to pick up something for a party at some point in the summer, and I remember being very upset that the one I go to is closed.
It was definitely. It was still around in September, because my papa
It might have been Halloween then.
He
So
loves his
October.
Grey Goose, and he needed it from his birthday.
So it was October to October. So
Yeah,
it
okay,
was 12.
okay,
it was
there
a
we go.
year away.
Year
from
away.
when that
So
happened.
his haunting,
was ineffective.
Was not the reasoning why the closing and the moving.
No.
Okay,
Because they
well,
would have
good
been
to
out there
know.
way faster. Anyway.
But he was an older gentleman in general, right? He was.
Apparently he was in his 50s, which
Oh.
doesn't seem that old. But he sliced from like here to here. And you could just see everything.
Yeah, that's,
Like a meaty taco.
unless you were trying to commit suicide, that's not a good thing to do.
Fell on a glass bottle. Just ripped up his fucking arm as he fell.
Alcohol.
Fell right into it.
Son of a bitch.
They really need more
bastard.
security there.
On that note, I think it's time. You know what this show's about. We read some stupid fucking stories. So,
But what are they called?
it depends on the source.
Tell me, what is this show called?
Lots of pasta.
Oh my god!
Pasta.
And did you know if you're vegetarian,
Hit that subscribe button.
you can have tofu?
Hit it.
Tofu pasta.
Hit it. So, the first story I found, I thought was pretty funny that we can read this together, because the title is something I think each of us can find some humor in. It's called I Am Currently Sitting Locked in a Resort Room in the Dominican Republic. Right after I hit submit here, my wife and I will attempt to run, and I really hope this goes through.
God.
And this is actually from Reddit No Sleep.
Oh my God. I want to know what resort this is at.
Hopefully that's,
I want to know.
Question number one.
Oh my God. I bet they booked with Expedia.
Yeah, I mean, good luck.
No, if this is how it ended up, they definitely did use their travel agent.
I really hope they wrote a review after their...
Hey guys.
My wife and I will attempt to run to the nearest Wi-Fi cafe to write a review with Expedia of this resort.
That's the real title.
And go!
Yeah, listen, if you're not using a travel agent, I mean, are you really even living?
Are you even traveling?
Like, it's free... hey. It's free real estate.
Okay.
So, I think we're going to share this one, because it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I think the way we should do this...
It's okay, I'll throw in some cute comments. I'll throw in some cute little ditties.
I think we should...
Go down. Yes!
You do know this.
I do know this!
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to tell all of the people I know.
So, do you want to start it?
I don't know. Okay.
Or do you want me to start it?
You start. I don't know. You tap me in whenever you need me to.
I think at some point, so I think you should do dialogue for everyone first.
Okay.
And then at some point halfway through, we'll switch characters.
And then you can paint me like one of your French girls.
And then Frowns will get his own story.
Okay. Frowns.
My hips are so hard.
Okay.
Again, I am currently sitting locked in a resort room in the Dominican Republic. Right after I hit submit here, my wife and I will attempt to run. And I really hope this goes through. This is from Reddit No Sleep.
Bet they're at a sunscape.
They're not. Look, I know putting this on No Sleep looks like a regular story, but this is quite literally the only website I'm able to open, and even this submit page is still loading, so I'm not sure what is happening here will even reach you. It's currently 12 p.m. here in the Dominican Republic, and as I'm writing this, my wife's by my side, crying and begging me to get the fuck to the airport and get away from this hellhole before something else happens.
I didn't get my swim out room!
I'm trying this as I have the hardest time thinking straight right now, so forgive all mistakes you'll see. I'm thinking gay. I have no time for that shit.
I was chortling.
I may be crazy. I don't know. You tell me if I'm exaggerating.
Oh,
you probably are.
You fucking are. For sure.
Wife just told me to ask here if anyone reading this is in Punta Cana and willing to take us to the airport. We're in Bavaro Princess Resort.
Oh, that is a...
No, Princess is pretty... Isn't that the higher up?
It says, I know you think I'm, and then it stops.
And that's when he died. Done! Story is done.
We arrived here yesterday evening. We love all-inclusive resorts. Have done many, and all we wanted was another uneventful vacation. I think I may have fucked this up somehow. Long story short, at the check-in I asked the receptionist if he could upgrade our room to one with a beach view. He said no. But the couple at the counter next to us got their upgrade, so I asked him why he couldn't do the same for us. I may have been a little rude. I'll admit that. He responded with,
Sorry, no upgrades.
I wasn't gonna fight shit. I was in paradise.
I don't speak English.
On vacation. I was planning on spending much time inside the room anyways. And my wife. And the maid.
And the butler.
And my aunt.
And the sous chef.
And the shower.
And the hot jacuzzi.
But as he handed us our keys and we started walking away, I heard him mumble.
Americans.
Under his breath. Now, I'm not American. But this shit did piss me off.
Excuse me?
I asked as I walked back.
Americans? Dude, you only got a job because of American tourists. How about being grateful?
He looked at me with rage in his eyes. I guess he has to deal with all kinds of assholes, but I wasn't giving him much of a hard time, so I was puzzled as to why he'd act this way. I expected him to blow up on me, so he was Iranian.
Oh.
As he looked
I
like...
thought you were saying gay. I started going like this. It was gay. Blow. Yeah.
Can I insert a joke here? I'm gonna insert a joke.
Sure.
So, did you know, that Allah is the one true God, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because, the creation of the world started with a big bang. Allah Akbar!
Yeah.
Done.
Oof, 100.
Dumb.
100.
He looked like he hated me with every molecule in his body. However, he just started smiling.
I do apologize, sir. You're absolutely right. Long day at work. Please accept my apologies and allow me to look for a better room.
It's the fucking death room!
Right.
Death upgrade!
So sorry.
I'm still a bit aggravated, but hey, dude apologized, and there was no reason to get him in trouble.
Oh, here, I found the VIP suite for you. Free of charge upgrade.
He handed me a new set of keys and called for bag boys to come.
No need. We only have one bag. Oh no, hotel rules, please.
He said as he started speaking to bag boys in Spanish.
Adelaide!
Spanish. They arriba. They
No,
seemed
it's
to
fine, no.
argue for a little.
Tequila!
One of the guys even looking at me while responding to the receptionist, but I didn't really care. I just wanted to get my hands on some cool beer and enjoy the rest of the night. After
some
30
titties.
years and some church. After 30 or so seconds of them visibly arguing, one of the guys came up to me.
Sir, if you please, follow us.
Walking into our room complex, you could tell it was different than your standard building. It was a set of 9, maybe 10 rooms lined up in a U shape,
This guy's
right
been
by
here
the
before.
ocean.
For sure.
I just found it. This is what it looks like. He even plugged a picture. It's on Google Earth.
Shout out Google Earth.
Our building is the one on the top right next to the ocean. The first thing I thought was strange, but I ignorantly wrote it off as a cultural thing, was the way the two bag boys behaved once we walked up to the building.
Follow me, please.
The first guy said as he took the lead. The second guy walked up behind us. The first bag boy would turn on the light ahead in the hallway, while the guy behind us turned the one we just passed off. I thought that was somewhat weird, as it was already dark, but I assumed it was their way of, I don't know, preserving electricity. It just felt off, walking through the hallway one light at a time, with bulbs behind us being turned off one by one.
This is your room, sir.
He said as they opened the door. I dug into my bag to grab a $5 bill, but was surprised to see the two of them already walking away.
Hey, guys, your tip!
I yelled. I know those dudes don't make much, and something as little as $5 could make their day.
That is true.
They looked
Highly
at each other,
recommended.
exchanged a few words, and reluctantly walked back. This was all definitely strange, but man, I was in Dominican on vacation. I refused to be engaged into anything that didn't involve drinking.
Thank you, sir.
The guy said almost nervously as I handed him the bill.
And sir?
He continued.
We have to go.
The second man grabbed his arm.
Sorry, lot of work, no time for chat. Sorry.
I watched them walk away the same way we came in, turning the light ahead on and the light behind off. Soon we stood in a dark hallway.
Well, that was weird.
I said as we walked into our beautiful room with an ocean view. Wife and I spent the evening trying out different cocktails at the main bar. Life was good, man. I'll admit, we got tipsy to say the least. Fucking #lit. Walking back to our room as we passed the pool by our building, we heard loud laughing.
Are there people having a party there? Let's check!
Trish said as she pulled me.
Hope it's a topless pool.
When we walked up to the pool, we saw only one person. It looked like an oldish lady standing by the microphone, which I assume was used for pool parties.
Topless pool party.
She was just laughing into the mic, no words, just laughing.
Tits out.
There was definitely nobody around her. Only light at the pool was directed at her. The rest of it was dark. Almost as if she were on stage or something. Trish and I looked at each other and chuckled. I guess some people just couldn't handle their alcohol.
It's 50s night at the Silver Clam. She's given a mean ass shake to its life.
Shaking those sandbags.
Oh, they're down to her hips now.
As we walked away, the old lady kept laughing. That laugh following us down the path, her never saying a word. Fun times. When we got to our building, it was completely dark again.
This can't possibly be about saving electricity.
I mumbled.
Look, the building down the road has all its lights on.
Oh well. We turned on all the lights in the hallways. Screw that creepy on-off shit. As we laid down in our bed, I noticed the clock was stuck at 1 a.m. That was strange, considering it was a digital clock, but I couldn't be bothered to care. It took about 10 minutes for us to pass out. Alcohol and traveling will do that, I suppose. I woke up around 3 a.m. I know because I looked at my phone room clock. It was stuck at 1 a.m. I always wake up when I drink. Dehydration, I think. I noticed my wife wasn't in bed. Then I heard her crying in front of our room door.
What the fuck?
I thought.
Did Trish get that drunk?
I opened the door, but there was nobody outside. All lights were off. I turned them on, looking for my wife through the hallway. I even walked around the whole building, no dice. When I walked back to our room, puzzled more than anything, I found Trish sitting on the bed.
Who were you talking to?
She asked me.
I was looking for you. You're drunk. I can't believe you become such a lightweight.
She said as she laid back down.
I heard you talking to someone outside for the last 5 minutes. You guys woke me up.
I wanted to know what in the world my wife was saying, but really it was 3 a.m. and we were drinking, so I figured it was a combination of those that made us hear things. I laid back in bed and started dozing off. Then I heard a soft knock on the door.
Hearing shit again.
I thought as I rolled over, crying at the door. I sat up. Okay, I wasn't imagining this. I could hear it again, and I was sober by now.
Trish, wake up, Trish.
I shook my wife.
What? Why won't you let me sleep? Can you hear that? What? Listen.
She sat up and we listened. For a few seconds, everything was perfectly silent. As she looked at me with irritated expression, soft cries broke under our door again. Trish's eyes widened.
What is that?
She asked, obviously scared, obviously.
I don't know. I'll look.
I quietly got up and walked to the door. I looked through the peephole, but all the lights were off again. Fuck it! I opened the door.
It's the old woman.
In front of me stood a little girl, maybe 10, 11 years old, crying and looking at the ground.
Hey there, what's wrong? Hey.
I asked as I squatted down.
Trish, come here. There's a little girl at our door.
The girl just stood crying and not looking at me. She was in her bathing suit and had a floaty thing, only on her right arm only, so I assumed she got lost at the pool probably a while ago.
Did you get lost?
I asked as I tried to have her look at me.
Trish, turn on the lights in the hallway, will you? Don't cry, honey. We'll find your parents, okay? Why don't you come into our room?
The kid started walking in, still not looking at me and still crying.
Babe.
I heard my wife say.
Babe. Hold on, she's coming in.
I said as I watched the child walk in.
Babe.
I looked back. Trish ran by me, revealing a fully lit hallway. At the door of every room in our building stood people. Men, women, children, families. They all stood at their doors looking at us, all smiling. Not creepy smiles, but just, I don't know, regular smiles.
What the fuck?
I whispered as I took a step back, bumping into Trish.
What's going on in here? I don't know. Close the door, please.
Trish begged, squeezing my hand to the point of pain. I slammed the door shut as goosebumps overtook my body.
What was that? Were they just standing there in the dark?
I mustered to ask. No, I catch up. Thank you very much. To ask as I turned towards Trish.
I don't know. Can we call someone? Front desk? Someone? That wasn't normal, right?
Trish kept firing at me, not letting go of my hand. Then we heard coughing. Cougher. The little girl. We both turned to our bedroom. In the middle of it, facing us, but still looking down, stood the child.
Hey there. Hey, are you all right?
I asked as I took steps towards her. She must have been terrified. She was still sobbing, but then she looked up at me, stopping me in my tracks.
Are you okay? Are your parents outside?
I asked from what I thought was a safe distance. The kid was still crying, but then she started coughing more and more. I could see the pain in her eyes. I wanted to help. I did, but something in my mind was telling me not to. That and my wife not letting go of my hand. Coughing got worse and worse.
Don't go close.
Trish begged from behind me.
Help me.
Child mumbled in the quietest voice as she raised her hand toward me, and a second later, she started vomiting. She held her belly with one hand, the other pointing at me, and she vomited and vomited on our bedroom floor. I've never seen a human puke that much, let alone a kid. We stepped back, terrified. Funny how something like this can sober you right the fuck up. She finally stopped and looked back at me. She was now smiling.
Get her out, please, babe, please.
Trish pulled me back. I opened the door.
Get the fuck out.
I yelled.
Out!
She gave me another smile and started running at me. I pushed my wife to the side a second before the girl ran by us. Applause broke through the hallway. All the people still stood at their front steps applauding as the child ran through the hall, holding her belly with one hand, others still pointing ahead. They were all looking at us, laughing and clapping. I slammed the door and immediately looked through the peephole one by one. People went by inside their rooms. It was strange as fuck. They stepped into their rooms backwards, like they were drawn back in. I don't know. As the doors closed behind them, lights in the hallway automatically shut off.
What in the world was that?
Are they like animatronics?
It's like one of the like puppeteers in like Disney. It's a great big beautiful tomorrow.
Right. See, everyone has mouths.
Everyone.
You give 5-star review, please.
Yes.
5-star, we good.
We could, yeah.
Yes.
I cursed as I turned to Trish in all this horror. I didn't even know how terrified my wife was.
Babe, let's get out of here, please.
She begged as she pulled me away from the door.
Oh, where can we go? It's the middle of the night. Let's call someone. Something, please, please.
She cried. I picked up the phone and dialed the front desk.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
They answered almost immediately.
Yes, listen, something is wrong with our building. There is a kid crying, puking in our room, and everyone was at their doors in the middle of the night, and I don't know, something's wrong here. I see.
They said in the calmest voice, as if this was a normal call.
I can see that you're in our beach VIP building, yes? Yes, I think so. Can you send someone out here now, please? Not until the morning. Sorry, sir. Listen, something's going on here. I'm telling you, these people aren't right.
Silence.
Hello, are you still there?
No answer.
The bitch puked on my floor.
Housekeeping?
Housekeeping.
I slipped in it. I've got puke titties. Clean me up.
One lemon pledge.
This is an ocean view.
One
I wanted an
lemon
ocean
pledge.
front.
Lemon pledge?
Lemon pledge.
Jesus.
I slammed my phone down.
They aren't coming, are they?
Trish asked. We spent about an hour talking, and listening for any outside sounds. Logically, we couldn't figure out what had happened out there. This wasn't right. Or am I crazy? I mean, it was 3 a.m., and everyone was standing at their doorsteps in the dark, smiling. Not reacting to anything, and then clapping when a sick girl ran through the hallway. I don't know, man. And the girl wasn't normal either. It was bizarre more than anything, you know? Trish finally started falling asleep around 5:30 a.m., exhausted from crying. I couldn't. It was still dark outside. Around 6 a.m., I got up to go to the bathroom, and when I got back, I found my wife in the corner of the room looking petrified.
Don't hurt me, please!
She yelled at me.
Babe, it's me! Look, it's me!
I said semi-calmly as I walked towards her.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
She tried crawling back even farther into the corner.
Babe, it's me, your husband. You had a bad dream.
She calmed down.
What were you doing in the closet?
Trish asked, wiping her tears.
I was in the bathroom. No, you were in the closet, I swear.
She said as she walked by me. She opened the closet door.
Look!
She whispered, stepping back from the closet. I walked up to it. On the closet floor laid a thick rope. It was tied in a hangman's knot.
Jesus Christ, someone's really fucking with us.
I grabbed the phone and dialed the front desk again. No answer.
Fuck this. Fuck it, let's go.
I grabbed Trish and pulled her to the door. As I opened it, she screamed. At the door stood the same little girl, vomit still all over her bathing coat suit, and around her mouth she was still holding her belly while pointing at us, and she was smiling again. Lights in the hallway came on one by one, revealing everyone at their front steps looking at us.
What the fuck do you want?
I screamed with anger, fear, and mostly frustration.
What the fuck is wrong with all of you?
The girl raised her right hand above her head. She squeezed her fist and tilted her head, mimicking a hanging. Laughter broke through the hallway, and then everyone else, one by one, started doing the same hanging gesture, sticking their tongues out, then laughing again. I nearly tripped over my wife as I stepped back and slammed the door.
We can't leave, not right now.
I grabbed Trish, my heart pumping with adrenaline.
We have to wait until the morning.
We sat on the bed, her crying and me having internal monologue on what the fuck's going on. So here we are. This has all happened a few hours ago. It's 1:30 p.m., 1:03 p.m. Fuck. I just noticed the clock started working, if that matters. Looking through the peephole, I see nobody outside. We're getting ready to run out of here. No real plan yet. I know that we will get to the front desk and see what the fuck is happening. We probably will leave. I'm not sure yet. Waste $3,000 over some assholes probably just fucking with us. One thing I do not know is we're not spending another night in this fucking room. And that's how it ends.
Okay, well, first of all, someone give that kid a Pepto-Bismol, because obviously she needs
Got
it.
some
Don't
real
drink the
indigestion.
water.
Yes, exactly.
Montezuma's revenge.
Yeah. Hopefully she didn't get the traveler's diarrhea, because that
Right.
comes next.
So, I think it's fun that it just ends. You know, there's no follow-up. They just say that they're gonna make a run for it. And, you know, there's no edit post like, hey, we made it back, like, we're fine.
Well, I hope
'Cause they
they,
didn't get out.
hope they change
Right?
their
Doesn't that make you think that
flight.
they fucking killed
Right.
them?
Oh, that's true, yeah. If there's no follow-up,
You think they're fine?
no. Fuck that. Hell no, they're not fine. Some
think
little
they're dead?
kid torments you in paradise.
This is what happens when you fucking book Breathless through Expedia. You get booked into a bar solo, and you're fucked.
Not the good way either.
No, man.
The bad
Bad
way.
way.
When there's little kids involved and they're sick, you know, it's either that they just, you know, have an upset stomach or they're possessed by a demon.
And
It's
yeah,
never
she
like
vomited in
okay.
their room, like, fuck.
Maybe. Why would this happen? What's it about? Is it some haunted property? Maybe they built the Bavaro princess on some, you know, old burial ground.
With lots of old Dominican ghosts and skelly bones.
I thought it was going to be that she, like, drowned at the water park there, and that's why she was puking up all the water, because you don't want to have water park water
I
in
thought
your
Spirit
mouth.
too until she started like doing serious shit to fuck around with them.
You know
But
what
was
I
she,
wanna
like,
think?
having fun
I
with
bet
it?
it's a cult.
Really?
Les Baños Mexicanos cult.
But how do those people in the other room,
I
you
just
know?
think it's the people. I think it's the killing section, and I think everyone standing in the rooms are people that work there, and they're just, you know,
They're gonna kill
Fucking
us.
with
that's
them.
the kill section. That's where people go on their breaks. They kill the annoying tourists. you know.
Ah.
That would be fun.
That would be.
That's
kind of sad
a
to
little
bait the little
frightening.
girl then, to put her in there.
I don't want
That's-
to go to like a resort now because they have access to your room.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Well, that's why I thought she was crying at one point. She said he was in the closet. So someone put the hangman's noose there. I have no doubt that someone just came into the room and
It was R. Kelly,
put it
wasn't
in
it?
the
He was
closet.
in the
Yeah.
closet.
So with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Monsters.
I'm trying to find something good for Frowns here.
Mr. Boo-hoo.
Oh, guys.
What?
What?
Why are you whiny?
Oh my god. I really wanted a new set of titties, but my mom said she couldn't do it for me because she just bought me a new ass like 6 months ago.
Oh, sorry Santa didn't give you the Christmas present that you
He
wanted.
told me to sit on his lap, but he lied to me. He said he'd get me.
Well, the reason why he had you sit on his lap is because you had that new ass. So.
I wish I never had it.
I thought you listened enough to know.
I really should have just spent the money on an Ariana Grande meet and greet.
It's one of the best lines.
That's a good one.
Oh.
You're gonna love Big Mouth.
That line is from Big Mouth.
Oh, really?
And that's one of the characters.
Oh, you should have just let him know that Frowns
McBooHoo
McBooHoo was just so inventive that way.
I'm a piece of shit.
No, don't say that. No.
I'm Captain Death and I approve of this message.
You're not a piece of shit? No.
I'm trying to find something short and quick for you. Should I just go to toast for the rest of the episode?
Can you find something I read in my Asian voice?
Absolutely not.
Can I read it in the German voice? Yeah.
No. You can read it like
you like Uncle
read it like a
Bram.
normal person.
You like Uncle Bram.
Does Frowns even have a normal?
No.
No.
When I first came, my allergies used to be so bad, so everything sounded awful anyway. So
I just love how right now you're just like so feeling yourself. You're just like, take it.
Kendara Saki. Oh, I saw you the way we do it. It's the Germans, yeah.
Why?
And Uncle Bram will be.
Oh, this could be fun.
Oh, what's it called, yeah?
It's called The Perks of Working in a Funeral Home.
Oh, it's the perks.
I like
of
how the
working
P
in
and
the
perks
funeral
is
home,
capitalized.
Yeah. Have you ever spent your entire day in the cadaver lab? Yeah. You have a free access to the bodies, and it's not like they can complain or file a sexual harassment lawsuit against you.
I love how high tech your
Sexual harassment.
box is.
Panda, don't touch that shit, silly bear. I really want my fucking cookies.
Sit regular.
I like how you're like, you know the rules on this show. No eating.
He can eat my dick. The perks of being a wallflower in a funeral home.
Yeah.
All the bodies are gay.
And I'm gay.
Yeah. All right.
Starring Ezra Miller.
Gay.
The Perks of Working in a Funeral
Starring
Home.
Jack Nicholson as the gay. I'm a gay wallflower.
Oh.
Here's Flowey. Working in a funeral home doesn't have many perks. So when one presents itself, it's important to jump on it.
Literally. Not at all figuratively.
Rigor mortis, am I right, bro?
Rigor bonus.
That's why closed casket funerals are the best. You know the ones I'm talking about. People who died in car accidents, fires, shotgun suicides, Mexican standoffs, firecrackers being shot out of your anus.
Back alley handies gone wrong.
Yo.
Breakfast cereal accidents.
Breakfast Club. Molly Ringwald in
It's
the
kind of
Breakfast
funny that we
Club.
were talking about death earlier, and this story's about dead bodies.
Bodies and bodies and bodies and bodies.
Not again.
Bodies and bodies. Bodies and bodies. Hey, you know, if I got hit with a bunch of bodies, I'd be
You'd
dead.
be like, bodies, bodies, bodies.
They'd be like,
Yeah, it's probably true.
we need a closed casket, this motherfucker.
They drop. You ever think about dropping 6 bodies on someone? That's like 600 pounds. That'll squash them.
Well, no, that's like saying they're in
That's a
good
squashy
health.
amount.
Let's say they're obese. That's like 1,200
That's like
pounds.
1,200
That's even
pounds.
more.
What if what if we
even
got some
more.
morbidly obese people in there?
just more
Let's say each of them weigh 250.
That's like a Mick 5,000 pounds.
It's like a McWhopper with cheese. No, like 5,000 McWhoppers with cheese. Well,
That's why I pointed at it.
fires, shotguns, hamburger buns. Oh, I see what you meant.
Anything that destroys the
anyone
face.
can fucking destroy a stupid fucking face. Anything that destroys the face and head of the deceased. No one wants to look like a hamburger meat
In a suit.
I'm not the hamburger.
What about Mayor McCheese? Okay,
The hamburger
he does a good job.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
There you go.
He'll be fine.
I was in charge of preparing the carcass of a middle-aged woman who'd gotten half of her head blown off in a gas explosion. We didn't even offer her... We didn't even offer... I'm struggling, folks. It's been a while. We didn't even offer her family the option of an open casket. The bitch was too damn ugly.
She was really fucked up!
I'm sorry, but you're too damn ugly. And then it turns out that it was actually
Michael Jackson.
Edward James Olmos.
This makes the next line really great.
The family gave us the dead lady's favorite dress and some of her jewelry.
I just really want to be buried in this dress.
This is where the perks I mentioned before come in.
Oh God.
The beavered.
Bereaved. You say beaver?
Yeah.
The bereaved.
The bereaved are always so trusting. Over the course of the next 3 years, I've had that job.
Over the course of the 3 years I've had that job.
I must have pawned $10,000 worth of necklaces and engagement rings and all sorts of other sentimental crap.
See, this entire time I thought he was fucking the dead
Yeah.
bodies.
This is so much worse.
Oh, you fuck me!
He's Jewish.
Yeah.
Harvey Rosenstein's
Fucking read
funeral.
the story.
Jew and
God.
Associate Services funeral home. Do you think like every time someone walks in, it's like, oh my god, why does it smell like
I
a
just want you
filka
to know
fish
he
in
always
here?
does this.
I smell smoked salmon and capers. Are you having lox bagels?
No, Mom, just close your legs.
That was a good one.
Read the story.
I figure it's a victimless crime. The families think it's in the coffin with their busted up relative, so they're happy. And the dead person's dead, so they don't care. They're in a better place, right? Anyway, you should have seen my face when I got the jewelry to bury with the gas explosion lady. One look caught my attention immediately. It was fucking huge and looked like solid gold. I opened it up and saw pictures of the dead woman and the others who looked like her mother, grandmother, and maybe even her great-grandfather, all smiling happily for the camera. The locket had space for 5 or 6 pictures. I figured it'd be perfect for my girlfriend. She loves
old people.
She loves big and gaudy things.
Like my dick.
Yep.
We lived 3 towns over, so there wasn't a chance she'd get caught wearing it. I pocketed the locket. I pocket locket. Pocket rocket. I pocketed the cocket after everyone had left, and I finished working on the dead chick. I wheeled in the coffin to the fridge and headed out. Liz was making dinner when I got home. Oh boy. I don't know if I can.
I hope not.
More like Liz was eating dinner when I got home. I figured I'd wait.
Where's mine?
I figured I'd wait until bedtime to give her the present. She ate, we watched a movie, and got ready to turn in. After Liz got out of the shower, I surprised her with the locket. As I expected, she ate it. It looked comically large on her tiny frame. The gold heart full of pictures was the size of a deck of cards against her chest. I thought she looked ridiculous, but she couldn't get enough. She opened it and flipped through the photographs, and then she closed it, sat me down in her desk chair, and ate my cock.
And unzipped my
pants. Toward the end of one of the greatest blowjobs of my life, the sound of the dangling locket banging against her hardwood tits was starting to break my concentration. But then Liz did something she'd never done before and gobbled it all the way down.
Alright, you keep your secrets.
And I mean all the way And that was all it took.
No, it's just like a tin, like a bullet hitting a tin, like ding.
Oh, I thought it said blindfolded, and I felt like Bird Box.
Her bird box.
I wouldn't want to know about that Bird Box.
No.
Fucking dank stank box.
Oh no.
That's dark as this.
I don't want to think about it.
It's so dark
Stop.
and cadaverous.
Stop.
The snack that smiles back when the world had unblurred and I could move my body again. I patted Liz's head and told her I didn't want her to know where she learned to do that. It's a dog! But if she wanted to do it every time, she should feel free. Liz remained with her head between my legs. She didn't move. It is a dog.
No, it's a dead
He
bird.
put peanut butter on his
He
face.
did!
And Liz is a dog.
Liz is a dog. She's a bitch. Okay, Liz, I said, starting to feel oversensitive and uncomfortable. Still no response. Liz, I asked, starting to worry. I realized she wasn't breathing. Oh my god, what the fuck? I yelled and pushed her back. She separated from me and collapsed on the floor. Her eyes and nose were bleeding. Panic filled me as I stared at her motionless body. Her bloody face was horrifying, but that wasn't what I was focusing on. It was the locket on her chest, the bright gold locket that now glowed dull red. It opened up on its own. My eyes widened as I saw the oldest picture. The one of the great-grandmother had changed. Her smile had become a scowl of rage. I see you shitting.
You can't suck dick.
Page after page turned, and I saw the once smiling women were all frowning with hatred and indignity. The photo of the women I'd stolen in the locket was next. Her expression was one of something seethingly animositic. I tried to fix it, I couldn't. The paralyzing terror kept me rooted to the chair, and I wondered how it could possibly get any worse. And then the page turned again. There was another picture, one that hadn't been there until right this very moment. It was of my dog, Liz, with bloody streaming from her eyes and nose. In the picture, carved across her forehead with vicious precision, was the word thief. Cunt.
Cunt. Probably more appropriate.
Only once the words started to appear on her forehead in real life, invisibly etched by some malevolent, ghostly hand, did I begin to scream. Oh my god!
So, we didn't really talk about the source where this story was from. This is from Unsettling Stories. I'm sure most people who know that source with us would find that none at all surprising, because that source is known for gross out horror.
I've got to tell you though, that Liz, she gives one hell of a blowjob.
That was her last.
You could say it took her life away.
Was it that, or was it her eating the entire 5-course meal that she had cooked for the both of them?
That might have been it, actually. Liz was fat. Hashtag bitch got fat.
The moral of the story is
kill yourself.
I Brussels sprout pasta.
No, we still have more to do.
Look at this photograph.
I think it would be
Behoovy?
I think it would be funny.
Bewildered. Look at this photograph. Every time it gives me ass.
So this is great. We're gonna end this story with some troll pasta.
Yeah.
There's just enough to do some fun shit. I'm gonna do something that's called a random encounter, which, I'm used to a couple of those. From Troll Pasta. It's been a long time since we've read Troll Pasta. I want you to know that. It's been like 100 episodes.
It has. Yeah, wait.
Welcome back.
I know this may sound stupid, but this actually happened. It's my winter vacation. I'm headed to West Virginia to go skiing. I'm on a charter bus going there, but we stopped at a rest stop when I glanced off to the right where a clump of trees was. I thought I saw a man wearing a red suit with tan pants just looking at me. I turned to my friend beside me and point, but nothing was there. I didn't really see his face, but it was pale. It slightly reminded me of the Slenderman, a favorite creepypasta of mine, but this man was a little taller than 7 feet. Plus, it wore a red, not black. I think it's talking about a tie. I ended up disregarding it and just enjoyed the rest of the trip. But the man's image was stuck in my head. The man wasn't really that creepy, but I still wanted to know about him, so I decided to look him up but found nothing at all about him. I'm telling you again, this really happened. I next saw him at the mall we stopped at. I was sitting on the bus with my mother since she was the driver. We had just gotten some Chick-fil-A. And I was sitting behind her to the right. I glanced up and saw the man walk out of my view. I leaned over to look, and he wasn't there. I looked around more, but he was nowhere to be found. Now, just so you know, he never did anything to harm me or anyone else on the bus, but it gave me an eerie feeling to think about him, mainly because I didn't know who or what he was. I told my friend once again. He just gave me a look like I was retarded. I saw him again that same day, walking up to our hotel room. I saw him looking at me from around a corner. I got a good view of his face this time. He had no lips. His eyes, or lack thereof, were hollow and black. It felt like he was staring through me right to my soul. I grabbed my mother's shoulder, pointing the man ducking behind the wall. Ma'am, there was some man staring at me. I knew I couldn't say exactly what I saw, or else she'd think I was hallucinating. She walked over, looking around the corner. There's no one near, honey. I looked as well. No one's there. This time it's not me, it's a girl who usually sat next to me. She was there again watching PewDiePie play Happy Wheels with me when she looked out the window and jerked back. Look out the window, she cried. I looked and saw the red man, as I started calling him, walking towards the parked bus, his lipless face in a grin, reminding me quite a lot of Jeff the Killer. I went wide-eyed as he walked towards the bus's door, his pale hand reaching at the handle. My mother was in the rest stop using the restroom. Everyone else was off as well, either buying snacks or using the restroom. But when my friend started screaming, my mother came running, wielding her stun gun. My dad had gotten her, the man jumping out the window after opening the latch to the fire escape. My mom got everyone onto the bus and drove off from the rest stop, only stopping once more for gas. My friend, the girl from earlier, was in our hotel room. She was going to sleep over here because her brother loved playing pranks on her. The red man, now a perfect way to. We went to sleep at 4:45. I woke up in the middle of the night to my friend screaming. The red man was standing over her, tearing her abdomen open with its hands and teeth. My mother on the ground, her throat torn open. The creature dropped my friend and jumped at me. I drew my hands up for defense. I started thrashing about, punching, kicking, squirming, anything. I kicked the creature off and ran from the room, running down the hallway, hiding in the public restroom. I sat in a corner and cried. Once I was cried out, I stood shakily and peeked out and ran back to my room. I saw the body of my friend and my mother and started crying again, wrapping my arms around my mother's abdomen. Something grabbed me. I turned. It was there. It shrieked at me before its clawed hand swung at me, and I went black.
Never
And
went
when you go back,
You
you
never
never go back.
I have a very important
Hey, Frowns?
question. I have a very important question.
Yeah.
That's actually true. Haven't fucked a white man in a very long time. Can you tell me where they were on their way to?
Wasn't that Chick-fil-A? No, they weren't.
No. It was from the where were they on their way to?
Undisclosed location.
I don't know.
It told you in the first paragraph. Where were they on
I
their way
already
to?
deleted it.
You know what I wanted and you couldn't give it to me.
No, I honestly don't remember.
West Virginia!
Mountain Mama!
Take
room, country room. All right, we got 2 more stories.
Fuck!
This is a good one. I'm gonna leave this one to Alley Cat.
Ooh, I'm excited. A full Alley Cat story.
This one is a troll pasta, which I want you to understand something here. Troll pastas are written purposely terrible.
Yeah, I
So try to read
noticed.
them as terrible as you can.
Oh, I don't speak English already that well, so this probably should not be. Okay, this isn't too bad.
No.
Okay. It's my first time. I want to make sure.
This one's called A Game of Chess from Troll Pasta.
It's just a game, right? When I was a little boy, about the age of 5, my grandparents told me a story that I loved. It was called A Game of Chess. I wanted to tell me...
Your game of chess.
I wanted to tell me it all the time, and I thought you'd be interested. Apparently, my grandparents had made it up because when I looked at it up, there were no results. That is why I decided to tell you about a game of chess. Here it is, but the way my grandparents told it to me.
I like that you're not reading it bad. The way my grandparents told me it.
Oh, fuck.
Story.
The story.
Of a lovely lady.
Girls.
3 little bitches.
In Western times, the way the outlaws settled things was a simple game of chess. Whoever lost was shot in the head,
Easy.
and their body was dismembered and buried outside the courtyard. That was when Peter Western, a dastardly outlaw, came into the small town. He played the sheriff in a game of chess. They had agreed that whoever lost had to hand over the town, and whoever won kept his town. They started playing, and the outlaw made a great move. The sheriff didn't know what move to make. He then did a horrible move and lost. The outlaw won and got the town, and the sheriff was shot. The point.
What about the deputy?
Nope.
It's not in here. The point of the story is that do not accept any challenge. That's what I think. The reason is because the sheriff was foolish enough to accept the challenge. What I do not like about the story is that the good guy lost, and I think that teaches something else. Something way, way more graphic than is meant to be thought. Surely, when I asked my grandparents what the moral of the story was, my grandpa said, well, to point, that story is not to be so foolish. If you are, then you accept any challenge. The scary part is that this happened when I was a kid, and that sheriff, he was my dad. The ending. I was shocked about how my dad's dad gotten shot. I cringed when I looked it up. The following night, I got in bed. I had a horrible vision. It was my dad, and he was about 6. He was staring at his dad, who was bleeding in the head. My dad was screaming and crying, and his mother came to comfort him. That outlaw came and shot his mom. The poor baby boy was then left on the ground crying. He kept crying until the outlaw points a gun at him, and I wake up. I was sweating and crying, and before I knew it, I had asked my dad about the same thing. Listen, son, my dad had said, my gun wound is right on my arm, right here.
I'm so fucking confused. My gun wound's right on my arm, right here.
I shot
Not the sheriff.
but
I did not shoot the deputy.
Maybe
Genie's got a gun.
Maybe that's the message to leave with.
Don't play with guns.
Don't play with guns is the moral of that
This is a good one, yeah.
And have some fun.
All right. I got...
God, that was terrible. Is that just me? That was fucking awful.
So, the thing
I'm
about...
like waiting for like,
That was the shitty story.
the gun went up his ass and then shot it 2 times and his head popped off and there was blood and shit everywhere.
I'm learning
He had
something.
it coming.
He had it coming. He only had himself to blame.
So, I think the real moral of that story is there's a reason we don't read troll pastas on the show anymore.
That's why I've been so fucking long.
Yeah, I think somewhere around the episode 30 we stopped reading them because they were terrible.
Yeah.
But I still have a couple, you know, so we're finishing them off.
You know what the real moral of the story is?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay. Rub-a-dub-dub. Thanks for the grub. Yay, God.
Thank you, LaToya.
Thanks, Latoya Jackson.
All right, this last story is going to be read by Frowns McBooHoo. And
Lay it on me.
this last story is going to be read by Frowns McBooHoo, and it is called A Walk in the Park.
A walk in the park.
This is from Troll Pasta.
Oh, that means I can read it in my German accent. Why you know let me do my accents on the
Because
show?
it makes it's you ever eat a really terrible sandwich? What's the worst thing you could think about putting on a sandwich?
Dog shit.
Ich bin Bruno!
All right, so what's the next thing that you could think about that's like just as bad?
Is it
Mayonnaise.
I was gonna say pickles sometimes.
Pickles are amazing. Stop it.
Yo, I want some
This is
shawarma.
like a pickled dog shit sandwich. You add a fucking accent to that, and now it's a German pickled dog shit sandwich.
When I
right?
come back, I want shawarma.
All right, so this next one is gonna be called A Walk in the Park.
A
from Troll
walk, a
Pasta.
Christopher Walken in the park.
Please, dear God, no.
I will find you. Around
I was
there.
walking in
I
the
was
park
having a walk
when my
through the
dog
park.
started to bark.
And I took a dog shit.
I stepped in some dog shit.
I found a knock.
All right, you're gonna read the story now.
I was walking in the park when my dog started to bark. We went home to get some rest. I look at my trophy along with the best. I was going to bed. I woke up and found my dog dead. I was sad. My dog was mad. I had buried my dog who was the best, who was gonna get some rest. I wonder where he is now. He was loyal and could bow wow wow wow. I would do anything to get him back. I felt like I was in a Snicker snack. No family, no friends, is this how it is? One day looked through my stuff and I found myself in a pair of fuzzy cuffs. I was about put to sleep and I weep and I die. Goodbye. I felt great, no pain, I'm happy, no harm, no me, no more, no pain. It's good.
I find it hilarious that you can't even read a terrible story correctly.
I was walking through the park and then
No,
my dog,
no, you're
my
done.
pooper started to bark. I went to get some. Get those puppies! Get those puppies! Sports!
This episode is dedicated to Glenn Close. What happened?
Where'd you go?
I love Glenn Close.
Where'd you go, Glenn?
Glenn Coco.
Where'd Coco?
Guys, I'm really just looking at scalp scrubs right now.
I was seriously wondering what you were doing because I was like, is he looking at
I've got like a scalp. I've got a scrubby. I need to scrub my scalp.
You got a scrubby scalp?
I need to scrub my scalp with my palp and I stick my dick out.
So that was episode 122 of Lotsa Pasta, folks.
If I'm not on
We read a couple things here today. Story 1, that one was about
fun.
That was my vacation. And story 2, that one was about Frowns' new job. And story 3 was
Yippee!
some troll pasta that no one wants to remember.
Nope.
And so was the next 2 parts. So let's all publicly acknowledge that we're not going to read troll pasta anymore.
And, well, you know,
dead.
it's not a vegetarian pasta.
Troll
so
pasta always, like, on a new person, always makes them think that, like, they never want to do this ever again.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't doing it wrong. Like, is this really as bad as it is as I'm reading it?
The answer is always yes.
You floored reading shit. What? You floored.
Yeah.
Reading shit.
You killed at reading garbage.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you did
At
really
least
well.
I'm good with something.
I told her that she could come on the show
Praise.
with you.
Praise
because
Satan.
You're a good
Ball buster.
opening act.
Oh, too.
Yeah.
Just opening. I like to think
it
I'm
was
a
either
full
myself
service act.
or with Frowns McBooHoo, and I said, just for the first time, let's do it with Frowns.
I think the next one.
Frowns.
I think the next one that you should do would be either with Spum and Cum.
Yes! Yes!
Or perhaps Mark Rooster.
Yes! This is gonna be
Yeah.
awesome, yes.
So
I haven't even done it with Mark Rooster.
No one has!
No one has. I had him to myself. That was episode 119. New person, Mark Rooster.
Can he fly?
No.
Can he fight?
Yes.
But can he crow?
Absolutely.
He can.
Rufio!
Rufio!
You know-
remember your mother, Peter?
I miss my mother. You remember your mother, Peter?
I found my marbles.
Yeah, you did! Listen,
Yeah.
back on the topic of Rufio, didn't we talk about this? Didn't we talk about this death? About the pill should have been black with a red stripe?
Yeah.
And then when you give it to people, like, they have to be
You
able...
say bangerang.
They say bang ring.
Oh no, you slip it in your drink and then you give
Yes,
them the bangerang.
yes.
You give them the bang.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm...
Rufio! Oh!
Yeah, so this was episode 122 with Alley Cat, Newbie, and Francis Miss.
Looky, I got a hooky.
Is there, how did you feel about this episode, Alley Cat?
The experience in general was very,
Mediocre at best.
Gomen this eye.
no. I will come again.
Oh.
It's
The
the
nice-
gateway.
And I will be on the show again. There we go.
It's the gateway drug. I do think you, me, Spum and Cum reading some Toast would be a really fun time because
That
they don't
would
have
be.
the attention span to read a longer story.
No, they don't.
So we would
do
either need to
anything,
do
really.
a not hot but spicy episode with them or a Toast episode with them because Toast is like 1 and 2 page short pointless stories. And Not Hot But Spicy are personal anecdote short stories that are usually 3 or 4 pages long.
I think that would be the most fab.
Everyone who hasn't listened to those episodes, listen to, I think, 73 and 96. I don't know. Spum and Cum. Look up the playlist on SoundCloud. That's the best way to listen to this. Everyone listen to the SoundCloud. Follow us on SoundCloud because I pay money to keep it online.
And you know I won't listen, so can you please listen
do
for
it
me?
for him. So do it for me. Do it for him. Do it for
Just do
you.
me. Can you just do me?
It's free if you
Do me!
do Frowns McBooHoo.
Hey. It's free real estate.
Do you have anything to add?
Oh, God. Thanks for listening to us. See you later.
Come shake your body, baby. Do that conga.
do I need like a sign off?
Things are getting stronger. No, you can't.
Fuck you.
Like, is this his sign off? This must be his sign off.
He's stripping.
Private show for me and Captain
Hey
Jack.
guys, I'm gonna do it. One time. Wait.
Oh, no.
He snapped his neck.
He's gone. Rest in peace. Oh, God, that fucker's dead. Thank Jesus. Can we read the Bible now?
And then goes, let there be light.
And on the third day I said, eat pussy.
2 to the 1, 1 to the
get around.